Less than 24 hours ago, Bitcoin was trading over $100,000. And earlier today, we saw the market take a very significant hit, and this did cause a ton of panic in the overall space. But we are still at extreme greed levels, and everything is starting to bounce back yet again, even though panic was at all-time highs earlier today. We have to address this because, guys, this is basically a reset of the market happening in real time for continuation to happen after, which we will definitely talk about. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Let's take a quick look at what is going on here. And if you guys do want live updates when things like this does happen, check out the free Discord down in the description below. You guys won't regret it. There's over 8,000 plus members in there. So what are you guys waiting for? Join the free Discord now to make sure that you guys get live updates. Now, as we really look at the overall space, I mean, there is still a lot of great gains across the board. But if we look at most of the space, it definitely did take a little bit of a hit today. A lot of altcoins really did sell off, including, of course, XRP. If we really look at how bad this was, okay, it started with the whole announcement of, all right, well, Bitcoin's well over $100,000. That was around like roughly 8 a.m. EST. And everyone was, talking about Bitcoin. The big spotlight was on Bitcoin. And then around roughly, 3 p.m., $100 million was liquidated from the market. Now, that was in just 1 hour. But this quickly grew to over $450 million by 5:30 roughly p.m. EST. And then, of course, it just kept going, breaking. In the past 24 hours, 211,642 traders were liquidated in crypto, with the total liquidations coming in at 1.08 billion. And then also over here, we have breaking. Bitcoin briefly falls $8,000 in 90 minutes to a daily low of $92,000. Bitcoin has since rebounded $5,000 off of its low, but continues to trade in volatility. This is what Bitcoin currently looks like. It is sitting at around roughly 97.5K. And yes, it did wick all the way down to like $94,000. And again, as we really look at this on the last month or even the last year, you could barely notice this, okay? It's so funny to me how people will panic on days like this where you have liquidations happening, you have cascading price effects as well. And it definitely does hit the whole market. I mean, Ethereum had a nice little sell-off down to $3,000, roughly $750. Again, if you look at the last 7 days or even the last month, does it really look like much at all? Absolutely not. XRP, right? XRP was already selling off. It did come back down to about roughly $2.23. My video from noon from yesterday, I did say, we were most likely going to sell off a bit more. I was even saying, XRP could still retest the 2021 all-time high. I still think that that is possible depending on how long this correction does last, or unless we do have a strong bounce back. Again, that's like going to be the big signal. But again, if you look at the last month or even the last year, I mean, does this pullback even really matter for XRP? In my opinion, no, it doesn't. Again, a lot of people will look at the daily and say, all right, well, that's it, XRP selling off. But if you zoom out, I mean, these are just small little, moves on the overall chart. But what this does is it resets sentiment, right? I mean, even though fear and greed is still at extreme greed levels, okay, it very well is still at extreme greed levels, very similar back to like March of 2024, for an example. And you might be saying, all right, well, Nick, does that mean that we are going to have the same price effects, from March all the way through November, where we're not going to move for months on end and we're just going to go sideways while altcoins get punished again? No, absolutely not. That's not the case. I mean, if you go back to every single bull market, I mean, I could just show you guys real quick, going all the way back to 2020 into 2020 roughly too. Okay, if we look at the candles here, all through this time, Okay, I mean, this is it's gonna change the overall view here, but I could just kind of show you guys that, all the way up to the all-time highs, in between these candles here, I mean, there is so many pullbacks, and it happens all the time. I mean, even if you look at the last year, you can see how many pullbacks happened even just this year alone to get to where we are at right now. And this happens every single cycle. I mean, it's so. I mean, listen, if this is your first cycle, I understand it, I get it, right? But if you guys have been around for like the last 2 cycles, the last 3 cycles, whatever the case may be, this is not new, right? This is exactly how price action works. This is how the market, remains healthy in terms of price action. But what's crazy about this is we'll get price movements like this, and then we'll see charts like this all over X. Now, this got over 270,000 plus views, 1.2K likes. I mean, the engagement farming on some of this, price action is just wild to me. But we have here Bitcoin, who's prepared. And it's literally a chart showing Bitcoin going from $104,000 to $24,000. And they're calling it, that's it, the top sin for Bitcoin. Now, we heard this so many times as well back in, 2020, for an example. We heard it back in 2021. We will continue to hear this cycle over cycle. Everyone is always, a big expert in this space. And, as we really look back at 2020, it really looks like the same exact patterns are playing out, where you have people that are posting these doomsday charts, even though we are in the middle of a bull run. I mean, just for reference, if you go back to 2021, look at that little drop before the much larger expansion on Bitcoin. That's exactly where we're at right now. Okay. Again, I'll open up a chart for you guys, but even when we are at significant lows, I remember FTX, I remember COVID. Everyone was saying, all right, $10,000 back in, 2022. Never happened. COVID. All right, it's going to go sub $3,000. Never happened. So many people will miss major buy opportunities, but so many will sell too early as well because of the fear. But this is exactly why I say, the overall sentiment in this space has completely been reset. I mean, if you go over on X, there's a lot of people that have been very bearish now. They're talking about how, Bitcoin's going to go down to, so-and-so dollars. The bull run's canceled. The bear market's here. I've been reading some crazy stuff. Now, as we go over here from Tech Dev, he actually put out a great post. He said it was early January of 2021, and I don't think that I need to remind anyone what happened after January of 2021, but if I have to, the greatest alt season of all time happened. Bitcoin in week 4 of price discovery, Ethereum 20% below all-time highs, Dogecoin at its first pause, Bitcoin dominance had reversed. The next 4 months brought a historic altcoin run as capital rotated and mania hit. It's early December 2024. Bitcoin is on week 5 of price discovery. Ethereum is 20% below all-time highs. Dogecoin is at its first pause, and Bitcoin dominance has reversed. Prepare. Now, as we look at this, yes, the patterns are so... I mean, I'm telling you guys right now, the patterns are playing out perfectly in this space. I am more excited for what's about to happen than I've ever been in crypto. And I am very excited for those that are still here, that are listening, watching the videos, because as we look at Bitcoin dominance, as we look at everything, yes, we're still preparing for the biggest run on altcoins in the coming weeks. I mean, I don't think that we have much more time left in this space to really kind of get positioned and prepare, because again, you got to remember that alt season is the shortest part of the cycle. But I would argue that we probably have until roughly, if I'm being very, conservative here, I think that we only have until roughly April, May of this year to really kind of have our bags packed and, start taking profits. But we'll definitely have to watch, wait, and see. Again, I don't like to predict time frames. I more so go off of what the market is telling us and, the overall price action in this space as well. But it does look like we are about to witness, again, another historical altcoin run. Probably going to be one of the craziest ones as well, with, a pro crypto admin in the, US. Regulations are starting to change around the world. big players are starting to get positioned in. And, I think that everyone needs to be watching this closely. I mean, even if we go over here to Bitcoin right now, you could clearly tell that this was a shakeout. We, wicked down to liquidity going all the way back to like November 26th. We're now finding 4-hour support around roughly $96,905. And it just looks as though this was one big shakeout. Now, a lot of people have been showing me the daily charts on Bitcoin, or even the 3-day charts on Bitcoin, and they're saying, all right, well, look at buyers are stepping out. Guys, buyers are still here. The buyers are still here. Everything still looks very healthy in my opinion. I really do think that this was one big shakeout to reset sentiment, and I do think that it did work. I mean, listen, I have witnessed these types of moves many times over in crypto, and every single time that we've had a significant move like this, where price action wicked down to significant liquidity lows, we start gaining support quickly, we have a significant bounce back as well. Every single time, it's to shake the tree, and it does work, right? We have a lot of people now panicking, even when it comes to XRP. Guys, what's funny is Bitcoin just wicked down to its deepest level since having this uptrend since going back to roughly November 26th, yet XRP barely budged. In fact, if we actually look at XRP on the 4-hour, we're still trading above the roughly liquidity low of December 2nd. I know that we did wick below it back here on December 4th. But if we look at this, right, it looks like $2.21 it's still holding, right? And what's crazy about this is you would expect XRP to make a lower low here with how crazy the market was earlier today. In fact, we didn't. And also, as we look at RSI here, RSI is now still trading right around the lows, and let's kind of zoom out a little bit, right around the lows from November 26th. And the pattern is still the same pattern here, where we have, the first low here. Now, this was actually a lower low, but the support actually closed above the candle bodies, which is what we actually wanted to see. Again, we have the same pattern here. We have a nice low followed by another low. Now, this was actually a higher low considering the overall close on that, but it's the same exact pattern. In my opinion, it looks like XRP is about to wake up yet again, especially considering the fact that bearish overall volume on the MACD is cooling off. So the bearish momentum is cooling off, and I'm definitely watching this for a significant reversal. Now, on the 12-hour, it is a little bit of a different story, but I do think that this is about to wake up in a big way yet again to completely reverse this overall move. And I do think that the big sign that XRP is about to really break out is it's just reclaiming $2.50. So watch for XRP to reclaim $2.50. That's going to be the big moment of truth. But the reason why XRP also didn't sell off in a big way is because Bitcoin dominance is continuing to sell off, aka Bitcoin dominance is extremely weak right now. It's no longer a Bitcoin market. We're still in an altcoin market, regardless of what Bitcoin is doing and regardless of what anyone is telling you. Alt season is still here. It's happening. We are in the middle of alt season. But the next big move on this chart where Bitcoin dominance actually breaks down below 50%, that is where you make a ton of money. I know that so far XRP holders have been very happy, but guys, that's why I keep saying that this is just the beginning. And when we see these types of moves in the market where liquidations are, piling up, everyone's getting concerned. You see the doomsday postings all over, X with the charts going down to 20K, 30K, 40K. That's typically a good sign because it means that people are getting shaken out. Their emotions are getting the best of them. They're looking at the red candles and they're getting concerned. That's very bullish. And also, by the way, look at XRP Bitcoin, the Bitcoin pair for XRP. The overall look on this chart is that XRP is still significantly strong against Bitcoin, which means this move on Bitcoin didn't cause XRP to budge on the USD pair because of how strong XRP is against its Bitcoin pair. So again, to really kind of reiterate things right now, this was a very, very typical, it's just a typical reset of the overall sentiment of traders. It wiped out a lot of late longs to the party. and technically even late shorts because of how fast Bitcoin rebounded. So this was typically the best way I could describe this is it's a liquidity hunt, right? It's a liquidity hunt to shake the market, shake out weak hands, get a little bit of panic going. And again, that's basically what this was. Just a little bit of a shakeout, market reset, and now we are looking for continuation. We might chop a little bit sideways. The big thing that we want to watch for, and the number one thing that we want to watch for, is for us to not lose these lows, right? We don't want to create a lower low on this chart. So as long as we hold above this level, I am very happy. I'm fine. I'm not concerned at all. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out.